Hey Grayson, how are you?
I'm good, Jim. How are you?
Not too bad. Saw your press release today.
Yeah, no, we're really excited to be started drilling again. We started drilling on Saturday and we're making good progress doing the top hole section right now. I wanted to start drilling on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday last week, but getting all the equipment and everything rigged up and tested and all that kind of stuff and getting all the people in the right place at the right time, sometimes cost you a day or two. But we started drilling on Saturday, and I think the company even posted a Twitter post of the bit being positioned to go down as it was on Saturday. So, 2,800-meter well. We've got seismic this time, so we can drill a little bit quicker. We know the targets and the horizons that we're looking for, and we're making good progress so far. So far so good. Knock on wood that we keep it going and get the results that we're looking for.
Nice. So, speaking of results, do you want to touch base on the oil in place on the next 4 wells?
Yeah, so these next four wells are targeting 2 billion barrels of oil in place, and I know oil in place is not oil recoverable, but we're still targeting 375 million barrels of oil recoverable from 4 exploration wells, which is pretty exciting stuff. This first well's got 799 million barrels of oil in place and 138 million barrels recoverable based on the Netherland Sewell numbers. But these are big numbers for onshore exploration in the modern day world. And again, this is a virgin basin, so success would unlock and de-risk so many other opportunities. And this is world-class opportunity, and we're super excited to be drilling this well now and going after multiple different horizons with, in the light oil window, because we've done vitrinite reflectance work on the, on the first the 6-2 well, and we're confident we're in the light oil windows. So, combine that with the oil samples we got from that well, and we've got a more expanded section with thicker intervals, and that's what else could you ask for?
I don't know. I mean, so I saw a video today. It shows that some of the investors from in ReconAfrica are potentially out there.
Yeah, so over the last 3 or 4 days, we've been hosting, investors, community people, government officials, etc., who who wanted to see what we're doing, and it was the trip was an overwhelming success based on the feedback that we've received and from the comments you can see of some of the the different media outlets have put some press out there relating to the trip and experience some of the people have had. And it was a really good trip, and the number one defining moment of that trip, outside of visiting the well site, which everybody was obviously really excited about, was we visited a water well that we had drilled last year, and you instantaneously see the exponential benefits that a water well to a community has. So it's not just that the ladies in the village don't have to walk 3 kilometers each way, or 4 kilometers or 5 kilometers each way to the nearest water source and then back with water on their heads. It's the fact that they now have clean water for hygiene purposes, because if you're carrying water on your head 3 to 5 kilometers, you're not going to use that water for hygienic purposes. You're just going to use it for drinking and cooking. And it also provides water that they can use in small community local gardens, so their overall diet is better. And then the local, a lot of the communities here have a lot of herders that have goats and cattle as their main their main headstock, and all the water wells we install come with little troughs for the livestock. So we noticed that there were a lot more calves being born. The cattle were meatier, they were fatter, they were well fed, they looked in much better condition than all the other cattle that you pass on the road as you're driving to that site. And, so that, not only that, but those cattle don't have to walk. The cattle doesn't have to walk 3 to 5 kilometers or 8 kilometers up to the river to get a drink where they're exposed to, being attacked by a crocodile. So, there's all the exponential benefits of the water well is one thing. And then when you think about the exponential benefits of a successful oil and gas development, it's really mind blowing. And it's why it excites us and excites the local communities, and it excites all the amazing Recon Namibia people that we have working for us.
So you're breaking the cycle basically.
We're trying to break the cycle. In the NBC video that's sort of online today, they have an industrialization program in Namibia called Vision 2030, and they want to add multiple different industries, the oil and gas sector being one of them, and the offshores, deliver that in spades through exploration successes so far this year. We want to be able to deliver that onshore because we have a shorter cycle time of 12 to 18 months for discovery, and make oil and gas the most, a critical industry to Namibia. It would only take, in $100 oil world, it only take 45,000 barrels a day to make the oil and gas industry the biggest one in Namibia. At $50 oil, it's 90,000 barrels a day. So that's, more, a bigger obstacle. But, there's multiple industries that can come off of this, which means, you got power generation as an incremental benefit of oil and gas development. You've got the green hydrogen initiatives that are going on that will be beneficial to not only the economy, but they'll also benefit from the development of oil and gas and multiple other industries. So we want to be a key part of helping Namibia achieve its goal of Vision 2030. And also, we've got the benefit of doing this in 2022. So we're going to be doing oil and gas development in the most sustainable way possible.
Well, and so correct me if I'm wrong, but potential partners would be just chomping at the bit, no?
Well, the value of partnerships is down to the value of the data that you have. So right now we've got 2 wells and 450 kilometers of seismic, evaluated, and we've got all the information from those 2 wells, and that's great. But ultimately, with the additional 761 kilometers of seismic we just finished shooting, and is in the process of being processed before it gets interpreted, and we're now going to drill 4 more wells. So the combination of all that incremental data, especially if we have success, will lead to a much better joint venture opportunity for us. But ultimately, the most efficient and effective way to develop all of this would be with multiple partners. And that's what we're looking to do based on the results that we're expecting this year.
Nice. So I know that it's getting late there. In our Discord, we've seen some satellite images of your newly shaped mud pit.
Yeah, so on this well, we decided to go with a U-shaped pond. Again, we use bentonite to seal it, just like they do in Texas. They seal all the ponds there that they used for oil and gas developments there. They use bentonite as a sealant, and it's organic. And we showed, we used that in growing a garden at the 602 well in the last few months. So it's all organic, it's natural, and it's U-shaped, and that's a development that we implemented after lessons learned and some other benefits that we see of that shaped pond in other parts of the world. Again, that's trying to be progressive and sustainable and implementing best practices. So the U-shaped pond, I think it's being filled up today. You don't need the pond filled up to do your top hole section. So we've been drilling away for the last few days without needing a lot of that water. So it's being filled up now as we start to get into the thicker into the basalt sections where the rock's harder. We're going to need a lot more bit pressure, and we'll need the fluids then. So basically the last few days we've just been drilling through a lot of sand, a lot of different sand intervals. I think when we were in the mud shack yesterday, we've been taking a lot of samples, and I think that the guy in the mud shack goes, he's got all his different samples there. He's going, basically, I'm just at this stage of the operations. I'm just determining which would make better Gulf bunker sand at the different intervals. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward drilling these last few days, but we're making great progress, and we're going to be still doing, although we've got seismic data and we're drilling. We're drilling with a lot more information this time. We're still going to be over sampling and taking a lot of sidewall cores and doing a lot of logging and doing as much technical work as possible, because as Scott has said in the past, we want to try to understand the basin as best we can, and try to get as close to basin mastery as possible. And the only way you're going to do that is by getting all the data. And again, that'll ultimately help us understand the basin, help us with joint venture partnerships and all that other stuff. So we're going to not drill, as fast as possible, but we're going to drill prudently, efficiently, and get as much science work as we can.
So you're going to be drilling this way with the next 4 wells, and the sidetrack as well.
Because every well is the sidetrack will probably be a bit different. You probably could go a bit hell for leather on that one and get it done quickly, because it's all cased already except for the sidetrack bit. But we're here to try to understand what we're doing and understand the basin as best as possible. And the one thing that the investors' feedback was the last few days is our technical team is second to none. Ansgar Vanke did an incredible presentation to everybody the other day, and that's as part of the group that you see on that NBC piece is he was telling everybody about the long-term history of exploration onshore and offshore Namibia, where the data lies, the significant amount of data that sits offshore, but not a lot of data onshore. So the greatest thing that he's sort of made relevant to everybody is it was only a few years ago that they proved up a working hydrocarbon system offshore. And then following that, they had success fairly rapidly. We discovered a working petroleum system, hydrocarbon system last year, and we're hoping to have success relatively quickly after discovering this one, because we now have the seismic, we've got the understanding from the first 2 wells, and we're super excited about what's about to undertake here, and we're just hoping we get the results that we kind of expect.
All right, Grayson. Well, thank you very much. We'll let you go. I know it's pretty late there, so thanks very much.
Thanks a lot, Jim, and again, thanks for all of our shareholders and their support. And it's super exciting time we're getting into here. We're gonna probably just a week or 2 away from getting into some of the interesting rocks, and hopefully we can continue to experience the success that we had on our first 2 wells, get the results that we expect, and go onwards and upwards from there. But it's everybody, the feedback of the last few days has been incredible from everybody, and I talked about the water well, and it's just because that kind of experience even made one of our investors, there's debate as to whether they were crying or not, but if they weren't, it was pretty close.
Well, that's awesome.
It is. It's great. It's really, really good.
All right. Well, thank you very much for doing this.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Have a great night.
We'll talk to you soon.
I'm going to bed now because it's midnight here.
All right. You have a good night. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.